The very first questions that the ulama have asked about cryptocurrencies is, what is this thing? How can it have value? It's fake. It's not fake. It exists. And I'll tell you how. I'll prove to you right now, in 2 seconds. Are we not talking about the logical community of people? If they're willing to accept this as something valuable, then fiqh also says, if the community of people, if the uqala of people are willing to accept something as to have value, then it becomes a currency. Therefore, this is the very first hurdle. Cryptocurrency has value. Today, Elon Musk is willing to give you a Tesla if you pay him with a Bitcoin. Number 2, money has evolved. Should our laws evolve as well? You see, there was a day in the life of Homo sapiens, human beings, where they began trade. So I had a cow and I wanted a horse. So I take my cow to the guy that has a bunch of horses, and he looks at my cow and he says, well, how old is your cow? I say, 6 years old. How much milk does it give? About 2 liters a day. Well, you can take that, broken horse back in the stables. Versus if my cow was, for example, bigger and gave more milk, then he would give me a better horse. People made transactions. It was very easy. And then people began to farm. So you would take a bag of potatoes in exchange of a bag of rice. Everybody was happy. But then, soon enough, a problem occurred. What was the problem? You have apples. And you go to the shoemaker to buy shoes. You give him your bag of apples and he says, I don't need apples. I need a divorce. I need a haircut. I need to go see a physician. I don't need no more apples. Well, what about my horse? I have enough horses. The shoemaker now wants to speak to a lawyer, let's say, to get a divorce. Apples are not going to cut it. Nor a horse, nor a bag of chips or potatoes. So human beings came up with gold and silver. This is a long discussion, but they came up with gold and silver. And they told everybody that gold has a lot of value. Silver has value, but it's a little less. They started taking gold and silver and travel all around the world. They gave gold and they received goods in exchange of the gold, right? Until they couldn't take so much gold around. It was a burden. And sometimes they would be intercepted by individuals who stole all their gold. Therefore, this is, what I'm about to tell you, the biggest breakthrough in human history. The biggest breakthrough in human history was when people were willing to give up gold and silver for pieces of paper. Because it was easier for them to store that piece of paper, transfer that piece of paper. So the concept of money has evolved. Because we human beings have evolved. In 20 years from now, all the maraja' will accept cryptocurrencies and bitcoins as homes, donations. So I don't understand why today Islam and our fiqh has to be a hurdle, has to make things difficult. Islam is not meant to make anything difficult. Islam is meant to regulate people's lives. Islam is meant to make the lives of people easier. So let us be part of the solution and not the problem. It's as simple as that. Money has evolved. In fact, let me give you a fact. So I'm not telling you this is a fact. 90%, today there's $60 trillion worth of money all around the world. Some of it is in your pockets right now, but not in the form of cash. You have a card. That card tells you how much money you have in your bank account, right? You also have an app that tells you how much cryptocurrency you own. You also have an app that tells you how much stocks you own. There is $60 trillion worth of money. Less than 6 trillion of that money is actually banknotes. Less than 6 trillion, that is 10%. Less than 10%. The rest of it is what? It's just a number in a computer. Nothing else. Imagine if, Jeff Bezos wanted to transfer all his money in cash. It would be impossible. He would need to shut down every single airport around the world and hire every single airplane and put and store every single airplane with all that cash to transfer it from one part of the world to the other. But what does he do instead? It's just a number in a computer. You punch in a couple of codes and boom, somewhere else. So money has evolved. And 90% of money today is digital. There's just a tiny 10% left